Hey, welcome back. Time for another training game. Let's see who we get. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I see my rating adjustment has taken effect here. It's not looking for anybody below 1769. That might be why it's taken a little bit longer. Usually I get games pretty quick. There we go. A Jap Papa. A Jap Papa. E4. Slovakia. Not familiar with their flag. This is not generally the most challenging way for the C3 Sicilian. It's going to go with a dragon type setup. Bring his bishop here, threaten to swap off. I'm just going to get a big center. Well, let's see if I can manage it. Okay. Wants to keep my bishop out of there, or my knight most likely. But now I might have some ideas of this in the future. If I push this and I gain, full control over that square, that could cramp his position a lot. I don't know that I'm ready to push d5 yet because that frees up this square for his knight. It also opens up his little dragon bishop there. So I'd like to wait to push that until he does something like pushing e5. So I think just the natural developing move, rook c1. Might have a plan of queen d2 and swapping off this dark square bishop. It's a pretty common theme in most openings where the kingside bishop's being cut out. It leaves these dark square weaknesses, and this bishop is a key defender of the position. Without it, black can have some difficulty. Have you actually seen people back it up and give up the exchange? Okay. He wants to attack my dark square bishop. I think I've got this kind of force, maybe not force, but like encourages him to push e5. I can trade once and really get some open lines. And I think I'm going to do that because I still have two defenders here. And he's not forced to do that, but it is a kind of an invitation to do it. And now I don't want to back up with the bishop because my entire purpose here was to try and swap it off. Although this really makes this bishop a little blunted. I've got my open lines now. Got to deal with this bishop first, but I like my position. Could go here and invite him to push again, make some more weaknesses around his king. Yeah, I definitely don't want to back it up. If I back up the bishop, he's got this. So let's see what he does with this invitation here. He can move the queen. Doesn't want to do that. That's on the same as my bishop. Okay. He retreats the knight. And he just backs the knight on up. Now, this was my idea to begin with. Do I proceed? There's not an immediate need to do it. I can just develop and get my rook into a better position first. I mean, that gives him the opportunity to move the rook, and it makes the swap less forcing, but like bishop back there in the corner with e5 blocking it just feels like a really bad piece. So I don't think I'm in a rush to swap the bishop off, but I think that's still a plan, an idea. So I'm going to develop this rook. Okay. He's inviting a queen trade. I have this. No, he can take here. And then I take queen. He takes queen. A bishop and a knight hanging. He has a knight hanging. He can take with check. That lets me defend my bishop or my knight, but not my bishop. My bishop is going to be taken there. So that's not good. I lose a piece. If I calculate that correctly, I lose a piece. Other ideas. Queen e3. Questions this queen. Am I getting into any trouble there? If he blocks with the knight, I can take the pawn. I don't want to waste too much time. Down to 11 minutes, 6 seconds. He's up to 16 minutes. He's playing with more than he started with. He is a rapid player. Okay. Queen's over on the side of the board. I like this idea, keeping the knight at bay. It also would work if I moved the knight, I think. The knight really doesn't have a future there, though. I mean, no squares to go to. Just back where it came from. So I don't want to do this and then run back into this. So I think that's a good prophylactic move. It gives my king some luft for the later stages of the game. I don't got to worry about back rank problems anymore. And the knight's not going anywhere. Creates a hook for this bishop. Sometimes there's sacrificial ideas there, but there's not enough material over here on this side of the board to worry about a checkmating pattern or anything right now. And now I think I finally am prepared to swap off. Maybe he brings a rook to the D or C files. Maybe he tries a pawn roll on the queen side. If he does that, I just advance my knight. That kind of, so if he does this now, I have this. The queen no longer gets to see this square. So it's only defended by 2, and I am defended by 2. If he took with the knight, I would have a fork. So he's got to take with the bishop. Okay, so he brought his rook. His rook has joined the party. So a relative pin on the knight now. So let's examine this move a little bit further. He could take with the knight. He's attacking my queen, so he's not giving up the exchange immediately. My queen, let's see, I'd take the knight. So if I go here, he takes with the knight, I take the knight. I'm forking 2 pieces. And let's see, I'm defending once. It's attacked twice. So he takes the pawn with the rook. So knight here, knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes. Gets the rook out of danger. And I lose a pawn. So no good. Not a good move. Um, this has been my MO from the beginning, but I like this pin now. Constantly forcing me to rethink my moves. Do I trade a pair of rooks, give him the D file and keep the C file? Or what about knight here and here? Adding pressure. I very much like that idea. So it relieves protection from this square. Should have thought about that just a half a second longer, but I feel like I was ticking away on the clock. Tick, tick, tick. So now I've given him this square. He's got d4. I go knight g4. He can take with check. So perhaps I go bishop g4 first. Oh, he swaps rooks. I can take with the knight, the bishop, or the rook. The rook seems the most not logical. Okay. Now he does have the option of taking with the knight. I can take back with the knight, but I like that square a lot. Okay. So, wonky pawn structure. But I left him with the bad bishop. And I've got an excellent outpost for my knight as well now. He retreat the knight. I'm not really interested in swapping anymore. The bishop's my bishop is better than his, despite the fact that there's lots of weaknesses around his king. Right now, these central pawns, I can target his with my bishop with two of my pieces, two of my minor pieces. He can only target mine with one. So that gives me an opportunity. So it's always good to reevaluate your plans. You know, don't get stuck on the same idea. I've had this idea since the opening stages of the game, but I think the circumstances have kind of changed. I mean, he could do this, solidify his pawn, and then do I really want to go backwards and be trapped? Yeah, okay, he saw it too. So, smart on him. That's just going to be a dead piece if I do that now. So back to plan A. But my outpost is looking pretty good if we swap knights. Or swap bishops. Oh. Oh. Okay. He's going to force me to take, and he gets to develop his king to a better position. Okay. If I still had two rooks on the board, I'd consider sacking the exchange here for a piece and a pawn, because this knight will never be forced out except by the rook. He'll have to sack it back if he wants it. This is the logical place for my knight. We're looking kind of drawish. Oh, did I just give up a pawn? Did I just give up a pawn? I really got to think about my moves. Okay. That runs into a fork. I have to be careful. Wow. And I gave up another one. Oh. Walling. Walling. I'm in bad shape now. This is not an ideal position. And I have just kind of squandered away a win. I feel like I was winning, at least had an edge. Quick moves without thinking about them. It'll get you every time. every time. So he's threatening to force a queen trade. Kind of. Yeah, because that both hang. Let's get the rook over here. At least we can take control of the open file. Maybe we can get some cheap tricks. And so I go here and he goes here. I'm going to have to get very creative if I want any kind of winning or drawing chances at this point. So creativity. Here we go. If I do nothing and I just kind of play natural chess, these pawns are going to just march on down the board unstoppably. Set this up. And I go here. Or what about here and here? No, 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 of course. The knight's protecting that square, so there's no fork threat. There isn't a fork threat. You go here. Here. Hmm. Hmm. You can have the rook if he wants it, because that's mate if he lets me have that. He's got to come here to give his king escape. But then I win the rook, and he wins my rook, but I win it with check. I think he blundered here. Mating patterns. Know them. Memorize them. Practice tactical drills, even if they feel elementary and like you're just not getting anything out of them. Spotting that in a game is the difference between 0 points and 1 point. So how does he defend? Can he defend? I don't think he can defend that. He should have gone back with his king. He came into this cluster here, and I think he gave me a mating net. Even if he moves the rook away, my queen guards the escape. Knight's got the dark squares covered. So this doesn't help either. I think this is the only move that extends the game. And then, I mean, mate is coming. So always fight on. Do your tactical drills. Good game. Haja Papa. I don't see a defense for you, but I commend you for looking. Good game. Just a quick check on the game review. Pretty sure he had a significant edge. I played a bit more accurately. At 2100. It's already saying white has a 1-point edge here. It didn't like my idea of that battery. Didn't like the queen lift. I wonder what is the move instead. I mean, this is a powerful idea in the Yugoslav attack versus the dragon when I'm castled queenside and I'm starting a kingside pawn storm. But in this position, I understand that I'm not looking at a kingside pawn storm. So there are obviously better options, but I am curious what they are. Maybe this. And if he comes here, I can swap and clog up his good bishop anyway. Well, his fianchetto bishop. This move attacks the newly undefended b7 pawn. Maybe it invites his knight to come to the edge of the board. Yeah, it says pushing is the best move. But it drops the evaluation. Chess.com, I wish you'd get your stuff together on this. Like, I don't know how many times I guess the computer's got to have time to think. I swear that eval was a little higher a second ago. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video. Anyway, good game. Thanks for watching. Tune in for some more chess videos. I'm going to try and do some different type of content in the near future. So thanks for watching.